But in the meantime, let's bring in former Assistant Chief Counsel for Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Veronica Cardenas, back with me. Former Acting Director of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, John Sandweg, and MS Now National Security Analyst, Rob D'Amico. John, again, this is what DHS said happened. What questions do you have, and how do we get to the bottom of the details of what we saw, unfortunately, unfold that apparently has ended in the death of a protester?
Yeah, I mean, the only way to get at them, Chris, is through a comprehensive investigation done by a neutral investigative agency, whether that's the ICE Office of Professional Responsibility, the DHS-IG, or the FBI. In a normal course, we would see an investigation probably by all three, as well as a state and local investigation. But if I may, Chris, quickly, I have to say that statement is so irresponsible. There is no way at DHS that they know all the facts right now. And to draw these sweeping conclusions really does a disservice to the agency itself and undermines its credibility, but also to the officers, the deceased family. There's just no way you can jump to these conclusions from Washington, D.C., that this is an act of domestic terrorism. And unfortunately, I do think that ultimately, look, I have tremendous respect for ICE. I have respect and defend the agents. The vast majority of them out there doing. That's why you need investigations, and that's why you don't jump to conclusions, reflexively defending them after an incident like this.
The other part of that statement, I think, Veronica, that was that the person who is now apparently deceased was attempting to kill an ICE officer or ICE officers is something that you cannot assign motive to. We don't know what was going on in anyone's mind at that point, but I wonder, based on this statement, what your questions are and what you feel needs to be known right now.
Right. And I think this is all very preliminary. We don't know the facts, but we do see a reoccurring theme. And I want to take a step back to see what we've been seeing with ICE enforcement since this administration has taken over. And it's a shift from targeted enforcement, which was what ICE is supposed to be about, to these mass sweeping deportations and targeting an entire documented and undocumented population in the United States. And so we've seen this same type of force used in other cities. And the fact that there is a lack of accountability right now for ICE's conduct is a serious problem. And so for me, the question isn't, let's get to the bottom of this investigation. That is certainly one aspect. But the bigger question is, can this be avoided? And does this administration want to avoid these issues from reoccurring? Because the plans that this administration has for this year, we can see that it is getting worse. It's something that we're feeling for anyone who's in the immigration practice and beyond. We're feeling that. And so I expect things to get a lot worse before it gets better, unless we can really look at the way that these investigations, these enforcement actions are being conducted.
If all of our guests can stand by, I want to go back onto the scene in Minneapolis where our reporter Alex Tappett is standing by. What's happening there now, Alex?
Chris, we are right at the scene where this shooting happened. As you can see right over there, 34th Street and Portland Avenue. The police have shut down this block. If you come with me right here, you can see the fencing. You can see the state and local law enforcement now. DHS, Border Patrol, ICE, they have been taken out of the scene. During that process, when those federal agents were leaving the scene, we saw high tensions. We saw protesters getting hit with tear gas, and we saw a couple of injuries from those protesters as well. Now it is a more calm moment, but obviously a very tense moment with somebody dead now, according to DHS. Now I want to introduce her. I want to introduce you to the head of the nonprofit, Jaylani. Jaylani, talk to me about the moment that we're living in right now.
Well, this is what we predicted. We predicted that these ICE agents are untrained. They have been literally coming into our streets with arsenal, and they've attacked our community multiple times. And unfortunately today, the worst part of that situation happened. A young woman, it got, rest on her soul, appeared to have lost her life because they literally shot an innocent person today and murdered her. And so, we're trying to get to the bottom of it, but I know that they already spun their narrative about what they're going to say, and the facts is going to come out. We have videos, we have other things, we have eyewitness. There's enough information out to clarify exactly what ICE did, and this ICE officer and others who are involved need to be held accountable. No one is above the law, including ICE and their leadership, and so it's ironic that it happened a few blocks away, literally 2-3 blocks away from where George Floyd was murdered. And so this is just a reality check that they are dangerous, and their behavior, most of these people are untrained. They have no idea what they're doing. They're engaging in a very dangerous manner. And I'm deeply concerned for our nation right now, because I know our adversaries across the world are looking into this situation as the president is unleashing his federal agencies against innocent U.S. citizens. And I think, unfortunately, this is the consequences of this type of behavior. And we need people to stand up. We need the government to stand up. We need to hold these people accountable, and we need people to wake up.
What is your message to the Trump administration in this moment?
You're not above the law, period. You cannot commit crimes against innocent people, and that appears to be what happened today. And so we're going to remind them and anybody else that this is still a country of laws, and we're going to hold them accountable to it. No ICE agent can go around and shoot people. That's exactly what happened here. We've had a previous incident as well. This is not the first shooting that has happened in Minnesota, and so we're hoping that we can get to the bottom of this and learn as much as much information as possible. But we're asking our folks across the state here to be vigilant, to wake up, and to realize what is happening. These untrained ICE agents who are coming, nearly 2,000, for what? For what purpose? Other than to separate families, to disrupt the peace on the purpose of a policy of political rhetoric. President Trump is trying to score political points and really terrorize our state because he's afraid of Governor Walz or whatever his logic behind is happening. This is unacceptable behavior. We see the worst version of it today in the loss of a young woman's life. And as we learn more about this situation, we need people to wake up that this is unacceptable. And we need every person to wake up and look outside their window and identify and record these people's behavior, because they're absolutely dangerous. We have heard it from our sheriff here, actually, Dewana Witt, who went public to talk about how dangerous they were. Other law enforcement agents are calling them out for their behavior and the way that they're operating right now. And sadly, a family is going to wake up to the news. I would just say that this young woman is a hero. She's someone who stood up to defend her neighbors, and then to lose her life. She's a patriot, a true patriot, and the type of people we need in this country to stand up against bullies like President Trump and these horrible ICE agents who think that they are above the law. They're not above the law.
And your community has been through so much over the recent years. What is your message to the people of Minneapolis, to the people of St. Paul in this moment?
We are a strong community. We have dealt with a lot more, and I believe in this moment God has chosen us to carry the burden of this nation's fight against President Trump's authoritarianism. And guess what? If God sees something good in us, that goodness is going to be used to shine a light of positivity. And so we're going to come together. We're going to be stronger. We're going to be resilient, and we're going to win in this moment. And history will remind the nation and for generations yet to come that there were great people in this great city of Minneapolis who stood up against authoritarianism.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.